condolences to the families of the fallen, and our compassion and condolences for all of those who were injured in this affair, for all of their families. We're working closely with all of them at this time. Right now, I'd like to provide you an update. I won't repeat the information that I provided yesterday or last night, but an update, a short update on the shooting incident that happened yesterday. First, I want to announce that we have positively identified, and we are able to release, and Mexican have been notified, the alleged shooter is Specialist Ivan A. Lopez. He is 34 years old, originally from Puerto Rico. Specialist Lopez was assigned to the 49th Transportation Movement Control Battalion of the 13th Sustainment Brigade. And again, his next of kin notification has been complete. We will be publishing later on this afternoon, this evening, Specialist Lopez's releasable service record, and you can find that on FortHoodPressCenter.com. In regards to Specialist Lopez's medical status, out of respect, as you can understand, for his family and the integrity of the ongoing investigation, I will not say anything further than the comments that I made yesterday. As for the investigation, Criminal Investigation Division of the United States Army continues as the lead investigating agency, and they are right now synchronizing all of the investigative work of the federal, state, local, and Army agencies throughout Fort Hood and the surrounding area. They are interviewing witnesses, and that is an ongoing and active investigation. I would ask that everyone avoid speculation about the incident and let the investigation and the investigators take their course. Many of those soldiers are also witnesses, and I would ask the media, for due respect of the integrity of the investigation, to try to stay clear of soldiers who may have been witnesses. As I stated last night, at this point, we have not yet ruled out anything whatsoever. We are committed to letting the investigation run its course, but we have, again, no indications at this time of any link to terrorist organizations of any type, national or international. I just returned from Scott White. I visited with our wounded soldiers who are down there, and I'd like to thank publicly the great professional support that we've gotten from the entire medical staff of Scott White. Tremendous effort by all of them, the medevac pilots, and then also the great professional medical effort that was done here on Fort Hood at Darnell. There are casualties still at Darnell, and there are casualties still being treated at Scott White, and they are getting world-class medical care, and we appreciate all of that. Currently, we have 16 wounded soldiers, and as we said yesterday, 4 killed, the shooter, and 3 victims. Of the 16 soldiers, 9 of them are at Scott White currently, and 3 are at Darnell. 4 of the soldiers have already been released. We're planning a memorial ceremony for early next week, and we will keep you advised when that is to honor our fallen. I'd also like to thank the outpouring of support from the Central Texas community, and indeed the entire state of Texas, and from all of our national leadership within the military and our civilian leadership at the national level. Everyone is chipping in, try to assist in any way they can, and I would recommend that any individual wanting to donate in any manner, shape, or form, contact Fort Hood PAO. It's on the Facebook page, and they can point you in the right direction. But a variety of organizations, the USO, the Red Cross, and a wide variety of other organizations are providing assistance right now, and we deeply appreciate their support as well. With that, I'll take questions after I turn this over to Senator Cornyn. But again, I ask the fallen and the families of the fallen, along with the wounded and the families of the wounded, that your thoughts are heard. Thank you very much.
General Milley, thank you for your strong and steady leadership during the difficult times both here and the assignment abroad. I'm back here at Fort Hood for the second time in about 20
I'll wait until the investigation confirms that to me. I have some reports to that effect, but I don't have confirmation.
General,
Yes, sir.
Did the specialist transfer to this facility in order to take advantage of the WTU and the
No. He was transferred to Fort Hood from Fort Bliss. He was assigned to a unit in Fort Bliss, Texas. He was reclassified into another MOS. While he was at Fort Bliss, he was an infantryman. He reclassified into 88 Mike vehicle operator, and he came to Fort Hood under that MOS. He was not being transferred here to be assigned to the WTU.
I'm sorry, was not transferred here in order to get medical attention through the WTU or
No,
through
that's
any
not
of
the
the
reason why.
resources here at the post.
That was not the reason why he was transferred.
General, have you requested a leave to deny? Is that
We're looking into that right now. There are reports of that trying to confirm and deny that.
General, friends of Specialist Lopez back in Puerto Rico say that he was upset that he was given only 24 hours by the military to attend his mother's funeral. What exactly were the terms of his leave for that funeral?
Yeah, I don't have the details on that right now.
Are you aware of his purchasing that gun?
I have to say that again. No, the unit mission was complete at 4 months.
Was the purchase of the gun, did that happen at about the same time that your mother passed away?
I do not know.
General, any change in the policy of social being allowed to carry firearms in the base or restrictions conducting searches of the age or non-search facilities?
At this time, there's no change to DOD policy that I'm aware of. We're very much.
General, do you feel like you're any closer? Do you feel like you're any closer than you were last night to understanding why he did his actions?
We have very strong evidence that he had a medical history that indicates unstable psychiatric psychological condition. Going through all the records to ensure that that is in fact correct. We believe that's the fundamental underlying cause.
General,
That you could speak to, you said there was a history that
No specific incident.
Wait, when you said
did he ever complain about assault?
Sorry,
Did he ever file a complaint about assault?
not that I'm aware of.
General,
Not that I'm aware of.
are you referring to records that are for his career?
We're looking into that, trying to figure out what the trigger event was. It was mentioned yesterday there may have been a verbal altercation with another soldier or soldiers, and there's a strong possibility that's the fact immediately preceded the shooting. We do not have that definitively at this point. We do have strong.
Do you have the sense
he had a non-registered weapon. It would be realistic, right? Everybody that goes to the base and looking for unregistered weapons.
I'm not sure I understood the question.
He had a weapon that he hadn't registered.
It's not a registered weapon on board of it.
Yes. It would be realistic to kind of search every single soldier going into the base with a unregistered weapon.
As you know, Fort Hood's a big installation. We've got about 70 or 80,000 folks here that work on a day-to-day basis. There's another 40,000 family members. Add on to that retirees, contractors, and others. We've got a population well over 100,000. It would not be realistic to pat down certain every single soldier, employee, and Fort Hood or weapon on a daily basis.
Senator, what do you think about the policy
Talk more
of
about the
allowing
FD.
Female MP, and then we'll come back to your question to the senator.
Fire
But,
weapon.
there were several instances here of clear heroism. I would cite that female MP. We're not going to release her name yet. She's remained to the investigation, but she clearly performed her duty exceptionally well. But there's others. There were folks inside some of these buildings who performed very heroic personal acts in saving others. There's at least one chaplain that saved other soldiers, broke some windows, got them to safety. I think the performance of the medical staff, the initial performance of the medical staff at Darnell was exceptional. I've seen a lot of medical staff perform in combat. Performance at Darnell, performance at Scott and White easily rose those levels of combat. So there's an awful lot of heavy. Yes.
Can I follow up on that? Now that we're 24 hours out, 24 hours out, what has been the impact on the morale of the troop room? Second event, that's the 4 hours out.
We've got all the command information throughout the day to day, but all the reports and my personal observation so far, you've got an installation of strong, resilient, professional soldiers, very high percentage of combat veterans here. So the morale of soldiers is serious, professional, and we're going about our duties to take care of this and move on. No indication at this point, no indication that he's targeting specific people. It's all the way to the investigation. I think one of the... Yeah, so.
General Milley's job is to carry out the policy that's now, but I'm confident that there will be a thorough review of that policy as the military and county government one day. So I respect General Milley for that thorough review to see if there are any gaps or
General, to the soldier's mental condition. So, are you all concerned that the soldier may not have gotten the psychological help that he needed?
Well, we're gonna do a thorough investigation of all the systems to include medical. I've asked for external investigation and help us to ensure that there's no gaps or seams. We do know that he was under treatment, so he was in the system and he was being looked at.
But does
General?
the incident suggest to you that he might not, or are you concerned that he might not have gotten enough psychological help?
I think that's too early to go. I'll wait till we get the investigation. Professional medical investigators tell me whether there's gaps in that particular system.
Do we know if this physical history has been reported to the state?
I do not know that.
Do you know he purchased the gun on March 1st? Investigators say that they don't believe that he, at that time, had an intent to kill anyone with it. Do you believe, given what you know at this point, that he brought it on with the intent to kill? Was this a premeditated act?
We do not know. Wait until the official investigation comes out to determine whether it's premeditated or not.
General, do you know that if the shooter was targeting specific soldiers?
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, she responded to the scene. Let me back up. At 16:16 hours yesterday, the first 911 call. That call was made by two wounded soldiers who, in and of themselves, demonstrated heroism and presence of mind to go ahead and make a 911 call. And I've talked to both of them down at Scott and White. The shooting began just a few minutes prior to that, and they were able to get that call. She arrived with her vehicle at 16:20 hours, arrived 4 minutes after that 911 call. She began working the scene with other law enforcement that began to show up. A short time later, the shooter showed up, approached her at approximately 20 feet, and as I described yesterday, put his hands up and went down underneath his jacket. She pulled out the 45 caliber Smith & Wesson weapon, at which time she saw that, interpreted it as a threat, correctly so, and then engaged him with small arm fire, at which time then the shooter did a self-defense gunshot.
General, do you know the chaplain? What is his status? Is she
Yeah, I doubt it, but I don't know the answer.
General, the Army chaplain who shielded the individual, what's his status? Did he survive?
Sorry?
General,
personal life and possibly military?
We are looking at all the factors that you would suspect. We're looking at everything from finance to medical, personal relationships, marital issues, family health issues, all those sorts of things. Looking all over.
Mr. Lopez fired at the AD, and did she strike him when she fired at him?
Sorry. Did he strike him?
Did she strike him with her fire and also?
I don't have the full autopsy report at this time, so I do not know if there's other wounds or not, other than the self-inflicted gunshot.
What is
Fire
the
center.
role of the fallen in this? We talked about
I don't have all of those roles. Okay, just what I said it is. It is shielded some individuals, took control of the situation, broke window, and got them off the table.
Senator.
Yes, ma'am. Quick, any other questions? Say that again. I don't know that. I don't know all the facts in the report of a lead request yet. That's being developed by the investigators. I don't want to comment on that.
Senator, question for you, sir.
Will this incident lead you?
No, there's no. Over here,
What's the condition of the female?
it was not. You have to speak up. I don't know. We've got local law enforcement checking all of that.
Senator.
You said personalizing finance, little being a copycat. What about facade, envy, attention, anything like that?
No indications of anything.
Which building did he go into first?
Units 49 transportation. Diana.
Senators?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you confirm that he purchased the weapon from Guns Galore?
He purchased the weapon from Guns Galore in 1 March.
When did he buy that weapon?
Sorry?
When did he
1 March.
Senator, we know that Mr. Lopez had a long history now with mental illness, and even though that was known before, none of that came up in his previous records. People just hours before this thing happened had no inclination for this happening. It's obviously happened too much here at Fort Wood, and it's an issue for the military across the way. Maybe there's no as well, but what can be done in order to get at this? There are so many veterans coming home dealing with these specific issues, and it's not always very obvious what is going to set them off.
Well, mental health issues are the most vexing issues from my perspective in terms of how do we identify people who have genuine problems that need to be treated, that they need to be helped with. But I think at the same time we have to be very careful and not paint with too broad a brush and assume that just because someone has been in combat that they necessarily have those issues. We shouldn't stigmatize healthy people who are resilient, who are able to deal with those stresses. We ought to identify those people the best we can who do need help and get them the help that they need. And that this remains one of the, to me, one of the most vexing, but also one of the most urgent issues, not just with regard to the military, but with regard to many of the mass shooting incidents we see, not only on military personnel, but in our country, period.
Senator, do you envision
Yeah, two more questions.
leading towards an investigation or a hearing or a renewed home in Washington or
Well, the debate about the discussion about how to appropriately deal with veterans and active duty military companies is one that's been ongoing
step by step, but I'm not prepared to do these things. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. We'll